This our annual general meeting. I'd like to welcome you, our members of our network. And I'm reminded in this season of Christmas of the words in Matthew chapter 2 verse 17 to 18. Then what was said through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. You see, in the death of the Bethlehem baby boys, we again see the fulfillment of Rachel weeping for her children. Herod, drunk with power, threatened by the news of a newborn to be king, slaughtered many children, many innocent children, committed no crime against the Roman Empire. Children, little children, innocent children, killed by the bloodthirsty and paranoid dictator. This is the worst part of a Christmas story. Babies slaughtered and killed. Matthew says he sees this as a replay of the story of Rachel. Rachel weeping for her children. If you remember, Rachel is the favorite wife of Jacob. She died right after giving birth to Benjamin. Imagine her grief as she realized she would not be able to raise her sons. Imagine the pain of her delivery as with her last gasp, she gives birth and then dies. Jeremiah has Rachel's pain and sorrow in mind as he looks at the misery of the people in exile. Ramah is where the captives, the survivors from Judah and Jerusalem were taken on the way to Babylon. Like Rachel, their lives were filled with sorrow and death. Their families died. The city was in ruins. The country was captive. And all seemed lost and destroyed. You can imagine these captives were tired. They were bloodstained. They were beaten. They were depleted. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, they were exhausted. Jeremiah looks at all this and thinks of Israel's Rachel sobbing at the tragedy of her children. The death of Bethlehem babies reminds Matthew of Jeremiah's prophecy. Rachel is again weeping over her children. Mothers would not see the children grow and mature. Almost every generation has had the story of Rachel weeping for her children replayed. When we think of Uganda, we see Rachel weeping for her children. Children endangered by abuse in the home, by lack of school. They don't go to school. Many children still on our streets. Children with no parent or significant other to care. That's why, as network members, we must continue to provide spaces, safe spaces for children. That's why we must continue to provide opportunities for children to grow up in families. That's why we must continue to provide opportunities for protecting children, for families to continue to take their children to school. Because of these pictures of Rachel weeping for her children, we continue as a network. Let us continue to work together to reduce the cries of the Rachels who are weeping for their children. We invite you in this meeting to be a people who are committed to bringing a close to the tears of the Rachels who weep for their children. We want to welcome you. Thank you for all that you do. May the Lord bless you. May God guide us as we deliberate on how to increase our efforts in bringing the end of the tears of the Rachels of our world. God bless you.